It's week 2 in our year of stitches, and now we're actually going to get stuck into some sewing. So we're going to begin with a running stitch. Now I've got some thread threaded up on my needle. I'm going to show you a basic running stitch. The fabric I am stitching on here is known as an even weave, and that just means it's got a consistent weave of the fabric, which makes it quite easy to stitch on. So for a running stitch, it's one of your most basic stitches. I'm going to bring my needle up from the back of the fabric to the front. I'm going to go along the line, go back down to the back. And then I bring my needle up a few holes along, and I go back down. Come along, back down. And you see, all I'm doing with a running stitch is having a level of consistency, that I'm keeping a consistent gap and I'm keeping a consistent length of stitch. So I create these gaps. Now this is really simple and can be used for edging things as a decorative stitch. But what's also lovely about it is it can be used for filling areas. So there you go. This is a single line I'm doing along of my running stitch. Then I'm going to go back the opposite way, and this time I'm going to do my stitches filling in the gaps. Now this is where you can see how it becomes a running stitch, because I'm going to show you a quicker approach to doing it. What I'm going to do this time on my way back is I'm going to pass my needle under the fabric, and then I'm going to bring it up over here, and I do it in this way where I'm going to do single stitch, going to go away and back up again. So you see my needle is staying entirely on the surface of the fabric, and I'm still just doing one stitch at a time there. But what I can start doing is I can start doing multiple stitches at a time. So you see, there we go, I've got 2 stitches now. And you see how when you're working in a running stitch in this way, you can quite quickly speed yourself up. So again, I use my hand that's on the bottom side of the fabric to manipulate the fabric into position. So there, I start seeing how I can create filling. Now let me show you then if I add in another colour. So I'm going to, on the reverse side of the fabric, secure my thread in place. So I secure this thread back in place by running it under a few of the stitches that are there. And then just going to tie a knot by just passing it under itself. And that's secure enough. I'm going to mount my hoop back up again. And I'm going to change my colour. This time I should grab this darker pink. This is where I'll go through the exact process I've done before. I'm going to cut myself a stitching length and split my strands. So we are threaded up again. Now I'm going to do another row of running stitch alongside here, but this time I'm changing the colour. So I'm going to go back again, and I'll just show you again using the single on the surface stitch technique. So my needle stays on the surface of the fabric. I bring my needle along. Here we go. There we go. And if you get any loose little trailing threads like this, just pull them in tight. And that's as simple as running stitches. It creates a really lovely filling area though, because it has a lovely translucency to it. It's not too heavy, so you can fill an entire shape in this way, and it's a really beautiful filling stitch. Now all I'm going to do is secure my thread on the back. And that is running stitch done. Come back next week when we'll move on to our next stitch.